Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin, and some of you have already gotten away with this just a little bit, the bride and groom ask that you please refrain from taking any more photos during the ceremony. And with that, please rise. Please be seated. We are wholly gathered here today to join Vincent Rizzo and Christina Mazuka in matrimony, finally. Vinny, all those nights of writing sad love songs in a ska style are over. And Christy, you can finally stop whispering Accio Atticus or Accio Jeff Goldblum before you go to sleep at night. When I think of a couple that represents what marriage should be, you two instantly come to mind. Each one of you has a positivity that makes others feel good just by being around you. You're like music and lyrics coming together to create a song. You have a rare relationship with a quality of eternal reassurance in it that people may come across 4 or 5 times in life. A relationship that makes others proud to be a part of it. I'm sure we all have great memories of these two. I remember finding out that they were a couple at breakfast at Wildberry as I commented on Christie's newly inverted Claddagh ring. I remember storming up to Vinny's desk in the Conan Library and demanding his intentions toward my self-proclaimed little sister, and him showing me pictures of the engagement ring that he had just bought. I remember seeing many moments of shared pain and shared joy. Now, as Daniela Teresa, aunt of the groom, leads the opening prayer, I would like all of you to think back to the first time that you met Vinny as Christy's boyfriend, or the first time you met Christy as Vinny's boyfriend, or when you simply just found out that they were dating. And of course, you two think back to when you actually knew that you were in love with each other.
I believe. I believe in God because without God, there is no peace. I believe in peace because without peace, there is no love. I believe in love because without love, there is no you. I believe in you because without you, there is no me.
And here we are, and we're especially grateful to be able to witness this new tie of love between the two of you. Since schools has played such a huge role in the lives of these two, they've created a lesson for you all. Of course, it's literature-based, but sadly no iPads. For some reason, Vinny decided he didn't want to see any here today. As we hear the following poems, read by Dana Briggs and Usra Syed, both friends of the bride and groom, Vinny and Christy ask that you listen and try to determine why they both chose these particular poems for you to hear. And while there may or may not be a quiz after the ceremony, they will be interested in hearing your thoughts later.
I Carry Your Heart With Me by E. E. Cummings. I carry your heart with me, I carry it in my heart. I am never without it. Anywhere I go, you go, my dear. And whatever is done by only me is your doing, my darling. I fear no fate, for you are my fate, my sweet. I want no world, for beautiful, you are my world, my true. And it's you are whatever a moon has always meant, and whatever a sun will always sing is you. Here is the deepest secret nobody knows. Here is the root of the root and the bud of the bud, and the sky of a tree called life, which grows higher than soul can hope or mind can hide. And this is the wonder that's keeping the stars apart. I carry your heart, I carry it in my heart.
The Invitation by Oriah. It doesn't interest me what you do for a living. I want to know what you ache for, and if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing. It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you have touched the center of your sorrow, if you have been opened by life's betrayals, or have become shriveled and closed from fear of further pain. I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or your own, without moving to hide it or fade it or fix it. I want to know if you can be with joy, mine or your own. If you can dance with wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers and toes without cautioning us to be careful, to be realistic, to remember the limitations of being human. I want to know if you can see beauty even when it is not pretty every day, and if you can source your own life from its presence. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand at the edge of the lake and shout to the silver of the full moon, yes. It doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you make. I want to know if you can get up after the night of grief and despair, weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done. It doesn't interest me who you know or how you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the center of the fire with me and not shrink back. It doesn't interest me where or with whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself and if you truly like the company you keep in the empty moments. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dream, for the adventure of being alive.
So what do you think? What emotions did you feel? What symbolism did you find? Was there a rhythm? Was there a rhyme? A reason? The beauty of a good poem is in all the parts that create it, but you could study a poem for years and still not fully understand its meaning, or how it works, or why it exists in the first place. Sometimes your best bet is to just stop questioning it and enjoy it for what it is. And now hopefully, of course, that wasn't laid on too thick and or confusingly, and you can see how a good poem is like a good relationship. It is made up of the parts that create it. The bride and groom, of course, recognize this, and now ask that you become an even more special part of their ceremony. As Abriana Teresa, cousin of the groom, and Jacob Mock, brother-in-law, perform I Can't Help Falling in Love with You, the wedding bands are going to be passed to each of you. Starting on the bride's side, the rings will travel to the back and ultimately return up here via the groom's side. The bride and groom ask that as you receive their rings, you offer them a thought or prayer to add to the togetherness of this occasion and become part of their poem.
Wise men say only fools rush in, but I can't help falling in love with you. to be. Take my hand, take my whole life too, for I can't help falling in love with you.
Thanks, everybody. These, I can feel these rings are full of thoughts and prayers. Now, while we've spent all this time talking and thinking about how love is real and beautiful, it's time to take a moment and talk about the truth. The truth is, while love may be wonderful, marriage is hard. You have to want it, and you have to work at it. You two need to not only commit to be there for each other, but also to listen to each other, to understand each other. In short, to communicate fully and openly with each other. At times this will be difficult and seemingly impossible. But if you can learn a simple trick, you'll get along a lot better with all kinds of folk. You never really understand a person until you consider things from his or her point of view, until you climb into their skin and walk around in it. Of course, you won't learn all of each other's ways in one day, and you shouldn't hold each other responsible when neither of you knew better. So when things get difficult, take time and try to see each point of view. Do you know what a compromise is? No. It's an agreement reached by mutual concessions, and strong marriages are full of mutual concessions happily given. To marry someone is to create a bond that lasts until death do us part, and perhaps beyond. It's not something to enter into easily. If you go lightly into marriage, the heavens that smile upon this act may after hours chide you. For those who go in without thinking, the violent acts may have violent ends, and in triumph die like fire and powder, which as they kiss consume. The sweetest honey is loathsome in its own deliciousness, and in the taste confounds the appetite. Therefore, love moderately. Long love doth so. Too swift arrives, as tardy as too slow. But I digress. It's time for you two to begin your longest journey together. The bride and groom have each written their own vows and will now share them with each other and exchange the rings.
Christina, today I take you to be my wife. Together we will create a home, becoming a part of one another. I vow to always protect and look after you. I will be there to support your decisions and to encourage you when things don't go as planned. I will laugh with you and I will cry with you. I will make sure you never feel alone and be your light in the dark. I vow to help create a life that we can cherish, inspiring your love for me and mine for you. I vow to be honest, caring, and truthful, to love you as you are and not as I want you to be, and to grow old by your side as your husband and best friend. With this ring, I join my life to yours.
Vinny, I promise to be faithful, supportive, and devoted, and to give you my companionship and love throughout all the changes of our lives. I vow to bring you happiness, and I will treasure you as my companion. I will celebrate the joys of life with you. I promise to support your dreams and walk beside you, offering courage and strength through all endeavors. Today, I am blessed to marry a man with the kindest heart and most loving spirit. And from this day forward, I will be proud to be your wife and your best friend. With this ring, I join my life to yours.
May those rings, touched by friends and family, be a constant reminder of the love that you feel for each other. Vinny, do you take Christy to be your wife? I do. Christy, do you take Vinny to be your husband?
I do.
Then, by the power vested in me, by you two, I now pronounce you husband and wife. You may kiss the bride.
Thank you.